Hey, what's up? It's Tati back with another video. So last night, Dynamite was pretty entertaining. I did enjoy most of it. Opening match was really great. Also, the main event was great as well. However, everything that transpired after that was pretty entertaining. Definitely making me feel a lot better about Forbidden Door and not so much Collision, but Forbidden Door definitely. Forbidden Door is 10 days away from today, and to be honest, I have been a little worried about the build towards that pay-per-view. Last year, I felt like we didn't really get much of a build, but we had a great pay-per-view. This year, it's looking like it's going to be pretty solid, but however, the build has not really been there for a lot of the things that are going on. I think one of those reasons is because maybe visa issues, especially with, these guys in Japan. In order for them to participate on Dynamite or Rampage or whatever, they would have to get their visas in order for the US, but Forbidden Door is going to be in Canada, so that does make things a little more complicated because they would have to get things in order for the US and for Canada. So I understand. So we do get some videos from Sonata and Tanahashi last night on Dynamite. So first, Sonata, he has put out a challenge for anyone in AEW to go against him for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And to be honest, I was really looking forward to that. Personally, I was kind of hoping that it would be MJF. MJF is holding, the biggest prize in AEW, and you got Sonata, who's also holding the biggest prize in New Japan. So it would have been really cool to see these two go at it. But for obvious reasons, they're going to keep these two champions away from each other because it would have to be the battle of which one's the best top guy. So I can see why both companies will keep these two guys away. But surprisingly, later on the show last night, we have Jungle Boy and Hook. They're backstage with Renee. And Jungle Boy, he's talking about how it's the summer of Jungle Hook and how they're like this unbeatable tag team or whatever, which is a little bit weird to me because I do believe he said not too long ago that he didn't want to do tag teams anymore. So now here we are, months later. He obviously did not win the Triple B at the Four Pillars match. And now he's looking at his friend Hook, who has an FTW title on his shoulders, and he said he's feeling naked without having any gold on him. So he's still on the lookout to getting singles gold, and he takes on the challenge to face Sonata for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. To be honest, I'm all for the young talent going out there and trying to make a name for themselves, but I would have not expected Jungle Boy, of all people, to be going for that title. I would have assumed that it was going to be someone much more higher up on the card to be going against Sonata. So it's really surprising to me that this is the route that they went. So it has been confirmed that this match will take place at Forbidden Door. And to be honest, I don't know what to expect. I think Jungle Boy is a really great worker. He's young. He needs a lot more experience. And with this pay-per-view coming up in just 10 days, we're not going to really see too much of a back and forth exchange with Sonata and Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy, I do feel like he needs some work on the mic. So we're just really seeing here matchups being put together, and then at the pay-per-view they're gonna go at it. I definitely don't see Jungle Boy taking the win, but he does says that he want Hook to be by his side. That's his bestie. He want him to be there and basically cheering him on. I think a lot of people are already speculating that he might turn heel on this night. He's probably going to end up losing this match, get so upset and take his anger out on Hook. I really wouldn't be surprised if that ended up happening. I think that would be really interesting to see Jungle Boy being a heel. I'm not sure how well that would work out though, but I think that would be really cool if that ended up happening at the pay-per-view. So on this show, we also have a challenge issued by Tanahashi, who wants to go against MJF for the AEW World Championship. And MJF says, hell to the nah, I am not defending my title, not just against you, but at all. He says not the first time that he has been summoned to have a match and don't show up. So even if Tony Khan says for him to have this match, he won't show up. Later on Dynamite, they do confirm that this match will take place. So will MJF show up? I believe he's probably going to put a whole front or whatever and then end up showing up. Like I said, I wish there was more of a build with these matches that are going on. We only get to see a build for some of these. So the only one sorta is with Bryan and Okada. That's the only one. But for you to have seen that, you have had to have seen New Japan's last pay-per-view. So if you're not watching both, you're kind of getting somewhat like half of the story, or at least part of the story. Now, they do confirm that Bryan will be going against Okada, so for me, that's the one I'm most excited to see. Obviously, we have Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP US title. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know who's gonna end up taking it here, but I really wouldn't be surprised if Kenny ends up losing this. He has barely defended this title. Had it not been for him having like maybe 2 title defenses on Dynamite. So those are the only 2 times I remember. He's gotten the title back in January at Wrestle Kingdom 17, which was a really great show. It started like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I swear, like, I literally saw Kenny Omega come out, and then I woke up seeing Kenny Omega winning the title, so I had to go back and watch the match or whatever. But it was a really great match, and to be honest, I out of all these matchups that's going to be happening here, I don't know which one of them is going to end up headlining the show. A lot of big matches here, but I just don't know which one they're going to go with. Now, we also have Orange Cassidy, who is doing an interview with Renee, and then all of a sudden, Zack Sabre Jr. shows up. And I'm like, no, what the hell is going on here? I've been saying in my ROH reviews that I want to see Zack Sabre Jr. versus Samoa Joe at Forbidden Door. But it looks possibly that we're going to end up seeing that at Death Before Dishonor, which is, I didn't want that. But anyway, he comes out and he interrupts Orange Cassidy. And then he's like, you know, he basically seemed like he wants to challenge Orange Cassidy for the international title. And before he can actually say that, I'm pretty sure that's where he was going with it. Then we have Daniel Garcia that comes in and interrupts them. And he's basically saying that out of everyone that Orange Cassidy has gone against, he was the closest to getting the international title from him. But he ain't worried about Orange Cassidy. He's worried about where Shibata's been at. The thing is that Shibata, he's had a few matches in ROH defending the pure title. He's had really great matches, but we just haven't seen much of him. Everyone that's holding gold in ROH is not defending it every week. The only one I can really say that for is Athena. She's literally there every week. But we haven't seen so much of Shibata. So it looks like Daniel Garcia wants his opportunity to go against Shibata for the pure title. But then Orange Cassidy is like, well, you know what? Shibata's going to be on Dynamite next week. How about you and Zach versus me, Orange Cassidy, and Shibata. So now we're going to get a tag team match with these 4 guys, which would be really great. I'm pretty sure at the end of that match or whatever, they're going to confirm that these 2 guys are going to end up going against the other 2. So we'll see what end up happening with that. So far we have 4 matches confirmed for Forbidden Door. Let's talk a little bit about Collision. That's on Saturday. You already know we have our main event, which is CMFTR versus Juice Robinson, Jay White, and Samoa Joe. We actually did get a cute little promo that they did. They showed on Rampage last night. So it was great to see that. And yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be having their eyes out on this main event because people want to see how CM Punk is going to do after not being in action for quite some time. And, you know, he's been gone with an injury or whatnot. So I'm interested to see that. But we do have some matches confirmed for Collision. We have Buddy Matthews versus Andrade El Idolo. So that's going to be really interesting to see these two guys go up in the ring. We have the TNT title on the line, Wardlow versus Luchasaurus, so that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm hoping to see something really good with these guys. We also have Tony Storm, Ruby Soho versus Willow Nightingale and Sky Blue. So that's interesting. And they also said we're going to see Miro in action. Miro was actually one of my favorites in AEW. I absolutely loved his whole Redeemer gimmick thing. I really loved hearing his promos and everything. It was really, really cool. And then when he dropped that title to Sammy, it just was like, but what the hell is this? So I want to see how he does. But you know AEW, when they say so-and-so in action, that means it's a squash match, less than 2 minutes. And if that's the way they're going with it, that is not good. So we'll see what ends up happening then. But here's the thing, though. People have been speculating that Collision was going to be like its own brand or whatever, where there's only certain people that's going to be on Saturday nights, while others are going to be on Wednesday nights. And so far, it doesn't even look like that, because a lot of things that we got from Dynamite has transpired onto what we're going to be seeing on Saturday. Maybe it's just like that for the debut episode. I don't know. I really feel like they don't need to do no brand split. Tony, if you're a good booker, you don't need to have anything split. You just need to be organized and figure out how to make a whole, your whole roster flow throughout all these damn shows. If it were me, I wouldn't even have done a Saturday night show. That's going to be hard to get really great ratings for, because it's Saturday. It's the summertime. People want to go out and everything. People like me who have no life and just watch wrestling all the time, we're going to be home watching. But for everyone else, it's not going to be the same. Now, I would have definitely added another hour to Rampage and just made it a better show. That's what I would have did before considering adding 2 more hours on cable TV, especially on a Saturday night. But either way, I am happy for AEW having this success and being able to, get some extra time on TV. I really want to see some good stuff. So I don't want to say I have high hopes, but I'm I'm expecting a really good first episode, if anything. And, I love pro wrestling, and if it's good, it's good. Only other thing here is that they have two things. No more having Saturday pay-per-views, and also they're going to have to compete with WWE when they're having their Saturday pay-per-views. So I don't know, man. Saturday doesn't really seem like a good time, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to see a really good show. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to do everything in their power to give us a great show on Saturday. And who knows, maybe in the future we might not have any more Rampage. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up happening. Guys, thanks so much for watching my video. I gotta go watch ROH and see what the hell's going on over there. Bye.